So, hello students, welcome to another lecture series of ELISA. This would be the second lecture, part 2 of the ELISA lecture. In previous lecture, we have discussed about indirect ELISA, and in this video, we will be discussing on sandwich ELISA and competitive ELISA. So, indirect ELISA we have already discussed. In this, we will be discussing about sandwich ELISA. Okay. Now to understand sandwich ELISA, as you already know, in indirect ELISA, the antigens are adsorbed onto the surface of the well. Okay, in indirect ELISA, you have seen the antigens are adsorbed onto the surface of the wells. Okay, whereas in sandwich ELISA, in this technique, the antibodies are immobilized on a microtiter well. Okay, so in a microtiter well, the antibodies are immobilized. Okay, as compared to the indirect ELISA, in which the antigens are immobilized on the microtiter wells. In sandwich ELISA, the antibody molecule is immobilized on a microtiter well. Okay, so you will use a microtiter well which is adsorbed with antibody of interest. After that, you would add a sample. You would add sample of the patient which you want to measure. Okay, after addition of the sample, what would happen? The antibodies which are adsorbed on the microtiter well, they will take up the antigens from the sample. Okay, so this green one would be the antigens which you have added from the sample. Okay, so after adding the sample of the patient, the antigens from the patient sample, it would bind to the antibody which are adsorbed on the microtiter well. Okay, so sample containing antigen is added and allowed to react with the immobilized antibody. Okay, after that, what you have to do? You have to obviously add the conjugate, which we have already discussed in indirect ELISA also. Okay, so it would look like this. You would add a conjugate, or conjugate better known as enzyme linked antibody or enzyme linked secondary antibody. Okay, another secondary antibody is added which is linked with an enzyme. Okay, so you can see there are two antibodies. One is the primary antibody which is adsorbed, and other is the secondary antibody or the enzyme linked antibody. Now between these two primary and secondary antibodies, you can see the antigen is lying in between. The antigen from the patient sample is lying in between the two antibodies. It is lying in between, it is trapped between two antibodies. These antigens are trapped. So it is looking like a sandwich. It looks like something like this. Okay, this is your primary antibody, this is your enzyme linked secondary antibody. Between these two antibodies, the antigen is trapped. The antigen is trapped between these two antibodies, making it look like a sandwich. Just like as in sandwich, there is one layer of bread, and in upper side there is other layer of bread, and between the two breads there is whatever the additives which you want to add according to your taste is present. So that would be the antigen. It is making it looking like a sandwich. Okay, so between the two antibodies, the antigen from the patient sample is kind of looks like a sandwich, so it is known as sandwich ELISA. Okay, so after addition of conjugate, in the next step, obviously you have to add the substrate. See, the steps are same in whether it is indirect ELISA, sandwich ELISA, or the competitive ELISA. The basic steps are same. Matlab, whatever the reagents or the components you are adding, they are same, but the surface on which you are doing is different. Okay, in indirect ELISA you are using a microtiter well which is coated with antigen. In sandwich ELISA you are using a microtiter well which is coated with a antibody. So which method you should use depend on the it would depend upon the test which you want to do. Okay, suppose in this sandwich ELISA, it is most commonly this ELISA method is used for detection of TSH. For estimation of thyroid stimulating hormone, we use which ELISA? We use sandwich ELISA. Okay, so these are the antigens. This is the secondary antibody containing the enzyme linked secondary antibody. So after addition of conjugate, after putting it for a certain time period of incubation, you should add a substrate molecule, or you should add substrate. So after addition of substrate, what would happen? After addition of substrate, what would happen? There is formation of color. Okay, the substrate reacts with the enzyme present in the secondary antibody, and it would lead to formation of color. Okay, after the color is formed, similarly just like what you have done in indirect ELISA, after formation of color you put the ELISA plate in the spectrophotometric machine, and the reading would be taken depending upon the amount of color which is produced. Okay, so in sandwich ELISA also this formula or this seems to be true, that concentration would be directly proportional to the color. If the concentration is more, then color would be more. Okay, suppose if I take example of this thyroid stimulating hormone, suppose this is a 96 well plate, 96 well ELISA plate, suppose. Okay, suppose this is a ELISA plate which is having 96 wells. Obviously in all the tests what you do, you need a set of standards which you use. Okay, there is no test in biochemistry that you can perform without using either standard or calibrator. In most of the tests you have to use standard, so that your whatever the test you are doing, that values should be standardized. Okay, so in suppose we are estimating thyroid stimulating hormone by sandwich ELISA method. Okay, so certain standards are available. Okay, suppose there are usually in most of the kits there are either 5 standards or 6 standards containing different concentration of this TSH. Suppose this is standard 1, it has concentration of 0.1. This is standard 2, it has concentration of 0.3. Standard 3 has concentration of 0.6. Standard 4 has concentration of suppose 2.0, and standard 5 has concentration of 5.0. I'm just supposing, it is not actually like that. There are standards with higher concentration also. I'm just telling you this to make you understand a bit better. Okay, suppose these are 5 standards which we are using in this sandwich ELISA method, and there are total suppose 96 wells, 1 2 3 4, suppose there are total 96 well in this picture. Okay, so in this well, so suppose in this well we have put a standard concentration having 0.1 concentration. In second well we have put a standard containing 0.3. In third well we have put 0.6. In fourth well we have put 2.0. In fifth well we have put 5.0 concentration of standard. Okay, so when a graph is plotted, between concentration and the optical density. When a graph is plotted between a concentration and optical density, it would something look like this. Suppose this concentration axis is 0.1, this is 0.3, this is 0.5, 0.6 or 0.8, 1. Suppose it is going up to 5. Okay, suppose it is going up to 5. And I have said already that in sandwich ELISA, concentration is directly proportional to color. Okay, concentration is directly proportional to color. So in this position of well, in the well number 1, the concentration is 0.1. So here the color would be bit light. It would be much darker than the previous one. It would be more darker, it would be more darker, and it would be more darker. So in sandwich ELISA, or in those ELISAs in which the concentration is directly proportional to color, you will see that as the concentration increases, you can visually see in the plate that as the concentration increases, the color will also increase. Okay, if the concentration increase, color increase, obviously the optical density would be more. As the color increases, as the concentration increases, the optical density would be more. So this optical density graph, it would suppose it is like 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1, 1.2, 1.4. Okay, so as the concentration increases, your optical density increases. As the concentration increases, the optical density also increases, and the color also increases. Okay, so on the basis of these type of graphs, suppose we have taken 5 standards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and suppose in 0.1 concentration the OD is 0.2. In 0.1 concentration the OD is 0.2. Okay, in 0.3 concentration, suppose the OD is 0.5, so it would come somewhere like this. Okay, in 0.6 concentration, the OD is suppose this much, it is around 1. In 2 concentration, suppose this is extending up to here. In 2 concentration, suppose OD is coming here. In the concentration of 5, suppose the OD is coming here. Okay, 1.6, 1.8, 2.0. Okay, so in those type of ELISAs in which the concentration is directly proportional to color, you will observe a graph in increasing order. You will observe a graph in increasing order. Okay, you will observe a graph in increasing order, so that the concentration of the unknown sample or the concentration of the sample which you want to measure can be calculated. Suppose in the next well, you don't know the concentration of the unknown sample. You have put a sample here and you don't know its concentration. So how would you measure its concentration? Just by measuring the optical density. Okay, optical density, the machine will tell you what is the optical density. Suppose for this unknown sample, the optical density comes around 1.1. So it would be here. Okay, suppose the optical density comes around here, that is 1.1 around. So what would be the concentration? It would be like you draw a straight line from here and join it like this. So the concentration of this sample would be around between 0.5, something like 0.58. So concentration would be nearly 0.58. Actually, you don't have to do this manually. We just have to put the plate and the machine will automatically tell the result. It will compare the optical density with the graph, and it will tell you the exact concentration of the particular analyte. in this case, as we are measuring TSH, it will give you the value of TSH itself. Okay, so this is sandwich ELISA. Okay, so in next lecture we will be discussing about the competitive ELISA. I am actually making very short videos so that you don't get bored. So in next lecture we will be discussing about competitive ELISA. That's all for today, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.